Hey everybody, my name is Nico. I play guitar in a band called Kardashev from Tempe, Arizona. And I would like to show you guys how we do our live rig. And the importance of that, I think, is for simplicity's sake. We're not running around with tons and tons of gear. We need like 2 trailers, and a tour van or something like that. We're trying to keep it simple. We're trying to go with very basic but best sounding equipment. And we're going to kind of give you a preview of that today. So first we'll start with what's in our SKB rack over here. We've got a Furman power conditioner allowing everything to be powered. And primarily the way that this works is the original signal from the guitar and bass are going into these wireless systems, which are both feeding into the AxeFx Ultra. The guitar is using the instrument input in the back, and the bass is actually going into the effects loop, which is being sent into this AxeFx 204 Aural exciter. Both those signals are then sent out into our 2-channel SLA power section. It does the job. It's unbridged, so it's a little bit weaker of a push, but we obviously don't need that much power because we'll be amped at the venues. So we then have our laptop over here, which is state of the art, by the way. I don't know if you know that. We've got the HP DV2000. This is circa 2008. It's top of the line. Actually, it's probably going to die here in a couple of years, but we won't push it that hard. Anyways, our DAW is Mixcraft, and we're using that because it's cheap and it gets the job done. It lets us run backing tracks and a stereo signal out of the headphone jack here in the front. And then it can also do Midi triggering for us. And that's important because we actually trigger all of our effects live through the Ultra. We have everything set up to a click track back here, so when a certain part of the song kicks in where a solo needs to come in versus a rhythm guitar tone, it will trigger through Mixcraft, and that'll go through this M-Audio Anniversary 2 into the AxeFx, and it'll switch the patch for us. And then right back as the rhythm section comes back in. So we use this to run essentially the whole set, and if for any reason this were to break down, we have a stereo mix down of our set on an iPod, and then I have this MIDI board down here. It's an FCB 101 1010, and that's so we can do it manually if for any reason this isn't working or we just want to change it up. But the reason we chose this was because we don't want to have to tap dance around on stage. We don't want a whole lot of gear. We don't want, a guitar head and a guitar cabinet, and then we want a bass head and then a bass cabinet, and then I have to tap dance on stage. So we simplified everything. Form is going to meet function. It's part of our simplicity and minimalism that we're kind of going after. So then all that signal goes out either into powered monitors or it can go into the PA at a show. But before we do that, we typically split the signal off for a drummer, or so we can get like a clicked version of the backing tracks to play with, and that happens over here in our 4-track mixer, where we send a stereo signal into 2 of these tracks, and then we can split it off however we want. So if we're playing a show, we can have clicks and backing tracks coming through the stage monitors while sending just the backing tracks and the amped signals from our instruments into the house for the audience. And this keeps it really simple. This can all fit in a car because all we really need is the laptop, our instruments, a couple of microphones, and this SKB rack. Everything else can either be provided by the venue for a less technical setup. Granted, you want to have your own monitors on stage at some point, which is why we could bring one of these along. But for the most part, we can fit almost everything in a car. And that's pretty cool for us, I think, because it reduces stage setup time and it allows us to focus more on our performance rather than the technical aspects of getting all our gear set up properly and miking all of the cabinets and things like that. If you guys have any suggestions on any of this gear that we could replace with something that's better or more versatile for our purposes, go ahead and let us know in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We're going to put a lot of these videos out in the future. Thanks so much.